Hello YouTubers, this is Michael McKenzie Squared and the other guys. I am one of the other guys, and we are continuing our Star Wars Jedi Sith bracket, this time on the Sith side. You guys voted in between Darth Maul and Count Dooku. I'm here to bring you the facts. First up, the Zabrak assassin, Darth Maul. Darth Maul was the personal assassin of Darth Sidious. He was originally an Iridonian Zabrak, but he was recently repackaged as a Dathomirian Night Brother. Not a fan of this, but hey, I don't own the trademark. Darth Maul, he's a product of a lifetime of very intense physical training. He was also involved in the Naboo crisis in 32 BBY, where he fought and bested Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, but was cut in half by a young Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just a side note here, I will not be taking into account the mechanical legs that Darth Maul received in Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show. Everything I'll be bringing you will be from the point of birth until he was cut in half on the planet Naboo. Our second combatant here, Count Dooku. After he fell to the dark side, he was dubbed Darth Tyrannus by Darth Sidious. He was formerly a Jedi Master within the Order and the teacher of Qui-Gon Jinn. Count Dooku was renowned as one of the best lightsaber duelists and force wielders within the Order. But as a Sith, he helped instigate the Clone Wars and become head of state for the Sith-controlled puppet government, the Confederation of Independent Systems, or CIS. First up, we're going to compare these two as saber duelist and martial artist. As mentioned before, Darth Maul is a product of lifetime, intensive physical training and physical combat. He has two very prominent fighting styles, that being the Juya form and Teräs Käsi. The Juya is a very highly aggressive form that relies on bold direct moves and attacks. This is backed by force-assisted acrobatics. Teräs Käsi, on the other hand, meaning steel hand, is an unarmed fighting form created to help the ordinary beings combat force wielders. This is based around anticipating their strikes and physical discipline. It should also be noted here that Darth Maul is a master of the Naman saber form and the classic Jarkai dual blade fencing. Most of the saber moves he has in his arsenal are Juya, and most of his physical strikes are Teräs Käsi. However, with that being said, I believe it's logical to assume that his defense is driven from the Naman. However, that's just speculation from my part. Darth Maul is fueled by the dark side, and he often would overwhelm his opponents. He has a strong defense, as he once defended against two Jedi specializing in Ataru, that being Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. A side note here, Darth Maul is a very capable marksman with blasters, but he considers them uncivilized and would hardly use them. Thanks to his Teräs Käsi, Darth Maul is a master of unarmed combat. He also plans and prepares his fights, yet he remains flexible. He's a very versatile kind of fighter. He has a very keen tactical mind. However, Darth Maul has some pretty serious downfalls. He is extremely overconfident, and he has made some overwhelmingly stupid choices based on arrogance. Count Dooku. Count Dooku is a product of decades of experience. He was renowned as one of the greatest swordsmen in the Jedi Order, specializing in the dueling heavy style Makashi. He relies heavy on pinpoint accuracy and footwork, preferring to outmaneuver opponents rather than fight head-to-head. And he's based much around his balance and mobility, and he trained and drilled all his tactics and footwork to the point of muscle memory. Offensively, this guy is precise and he's unpredictable. Defensively, he's efficient and minimalistic, fending off attacks with very little effort. He's highly effective against multiple opponents and shooters, as shown throughout the Clone Wars, and he's shown a high level of skill with some unarmed combat. And he emphasized level-headedness and tactical know-how, as he often would lure his opponents into his choice location and would dominate the fight on home field advantage. Most duelists aren't prepared for the finesse and precision of the Makashi style. However, some downfalls of Makashi: it does not generate many strong strikes, as it is focused on blade control and precision. and it's been shown Count Dooku has had some difficulty defending against some power attacks. However, some downfalls for Dooku. As with Maul, he is overconfident and has overwhelming arrogance. He believes that his experience outclasses everything. Head-to-head here, as saber duelist and martial artist, I have to give Maul the slight edge for his versatility. Count Dooku is a specialist, however, it's to be noted, he is not a one-trick pony. So Darth Maul gets the ever so slight edge as a saber duelist and martial artist. Next, I'm going to be comparing the fighter's physical attributes. Darth Maul is in his 20s and is in extremely good shape thanks to his physical training. He has the classic martial artist build, lean and strong. He's a lean, mean, death-dealing machine. Thanks to his Zabrak species, he has a very, very high pain threshold, and this is reinforced by ridiculous amounts of self-discipline. The only time Darth Maul has ever flinched was when he was cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Count Dooku, on the other hand, he's in his mid-80s, however, he is in insanely good shape for a man of his age. He may be well past his prime, but he relies on the Force to empower his body and compensate for his age. Not that there's much to compensate for here. Within the realm of their physical abilities, I have to give the physical edge to Darth Maul due to him being younger and still in his prime. Dooku may be in great shape, but he is still decades past his prime, so I give a moderate edge to Darth Maul for his physical abilities. Force abilities. Darth Maul has shown that he has a relatively advanced telekinesis, and at times he's used Force grip to torture and kill some of his targets. He has some skill with Force lightning. It's not that well developed, however he is able to resist it and continue fighting through it. He is resistant to telepathic probes, as a telepath once tried to probe his mind, fell insane and went into a coma. Darth Maul, he very rarely applies any of his Force skills in combat, preferring a pure physical victory. Count Dooku. Count Dooku's telekinesis skills were extremely advanced, and he was capable of personal levitation through this. He was fond of combat telekinesis to distract his opponents, and he was capable of breaking through Force shields with his own attacks. However, he rarely done this, but he was capable. His telepathic abilities were very advanced. He could rip information he wanted from one's mind and bend the will of animals to his, keeping a crate dragon as a pet. He was very practiced with Force lightning and he used it in combat. However, it's to be noted, many opponents simply just use their lightsaber to block this. For Force abilities, I have to give a very decisive edge to Count Dooku. His Force abilities are much more developed than Darth Maul, and he has no problem using these in combat. He's well earned his reputation as a master Force user. Comparing their weapons of choice. Darth Maul wielded a double-bladed saber staff heavily inspired by the Zabrak double-bladed Zabalka. The longer handle gave him much more leverage for his pyre attacks, and the two blades provided more surface area for attack and defense. It's to be noted that he used 4 red synthetic crystals as the focusing lens, 2 per blade. However, some of his downfalls here, the double blades rendered many moves impossible without self-injury, and the long hilt was a large target and a weakness to experienced saber staff wielders such as himself. Count Dooku wields a curved hilted lightsaber. This is a specialized fencing saber, and it was designed to fit better in the palm, allowing for a greater blade control and leverage. It was extremely user-friendly. This curved hilt would also allow for a change of grip in mid-battle, which would change the angle of attack. It's been shown on his lightsaber that it is a dual-phase emitter, allowing the saber length to be changed to 1/2 the normal length. However, I've never seen him utilize this. For weapons of choice, edge, Dooku. He wields a much more user-friendly weapon. He has a curved hilt which allows for mid-battle changes. Darth Maul's saber staff, while allowing for attacks from both ends, provides too large of a target for such a precise duelist like Dooku is. My verdict. This will be a very close battle in between two similar martial artists, with Maul's main edge being his better physical shape. Dooku's edge is his greater command of the Force. He completely outclasses Maul as a Force wielder, and he has no problems using these abilities in combat, whereas Maul tries hard to refrain from it. Dooku has much more experience than Maul, having spent over 50 years in the Jedi Order as one of the best of the Order. The way I see this fight playing out, it would start with a vicious lightsaber duel. These two will be very evenly matched based on their skill for quite some time. With any advantage Maul gaining over Dooku, Dooku would quickly counter with a Force ability. While Maul could just fight through Dooku's lightning, he would not be able to stop the telekinetic onslaught that Dooku would be sending his way, giving Dooku an advantage to outmaneuver the younger Maul and land a precise fatal strike in an area Maul cannot defend with his saber staff. According to the votes, Count Dooku would win this, and I am inclined to agree. Now listen, just based off of what I know and a little bit of reading I've done up on these guys, if anyone has any ideas on what they believe would happen and what would happen differently, I'm open to hear them in the comments section below. This is Michael McKenzie Squared and the other guys, and I'm one of the other guys checking out.